Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
This story is sponsored by Morris Law, LLC.
I always wanted to help people. I wanted to do something that would help folks make the choices that affected their everyday life. The main goal of Morris Law is to help people get their life back after an accident.
Typically our clients are going through one of the worst times of their life. They've been injured through no fault of their own, through someone's negligence or carelessness. They're often hurting physically, hurting financially.
Just because you hire a lawyer or just because you have health insurance doesn't mean that you won't get medical bills associated with your accident. Why do I owe $4,000 to the hospital when my health insurance should have paid? How does it work with the hospital and all of these injuries and how much time they have to spend in the hospital? You have to tell them that everything is going to be okay, regardless of what happens with this ambulance bill, regardless of what happens with this hospital bill. It's all going to work out. As an attorney, you're not going to let those medical providers take all of their settlement money. You negotiate that for them. You're still going to get money in your pocket for your injuries. After an accident, one of the biggest problems clients face is getting the health care they need.
We want your entire focus to be on getting better. We want to take over not only the heavy lifting, but all the technical issues of trying to push your claims through. If it ends up in trial, making sure that all of that is taken care of so you can continue to focus on your treatment.
We have attorneys that I knew for the whole time I've been practicing law. Ian was my first friend as an attorney when I started practicing. Lee and I went to law school together. We really are all friends outside of this practice. We meet with our clients together, we try cases together, and so we are a small-knit group and we know our clients.
I was test driving a car and I'm coming up to the light and there's a car coming across over to another road. She didn't see me, I didn't see her, and we kind of collided. I was in a lot of pain. I couldn't really do anything. Bills was piling up. I didn't know what was going to happen. The girl of the car, she didn't have no insurance. She didn't have a license. I knew right away that I needed an attorney. Company that I was going to buy the car from, he referred me to Jeff. I called him and said, hey, I was in an accident. Can you help me out? He told me that I was in good hands. I wouldn't have to worry about anything. And they kept in touch with me on everything. I never had to contact them, email them, call them, or anything. And I loved them for that. I felt like they were my family when I went there. They really showed me love.
What makes the Morris Law Firm unique is the collaboration that we have between our attorneys and our staff here. Jeff, Ian, and I are a team. We're bringing the big law firm feel to a small law firm.
You know, some clients will go to other firms and they only talk to paralegals, they only talk to staff. They've never once talked to an attorney. Our policy is that you're going to talk to an attorney on day one. Morris, his background comes with a strong drive. He understands the medical part more than anybody at this firm. Besides the attorneys, our staff is key. We design our firm so that each of the staff member has the same experience as we do.
At Morris Law, all 3 attorneys go on every file. Every attorney will be involved in your case, and if your case goes to trial, you will get every attorney at Morris Law at that trial.
Here at Morris Law, we want to get you more. We want to get you more in terms of service. We want to get you more in terms of legal representation. We want to get you more in terms of your case value.
At Morris Law, we can't undo what happened, but we can help you get past it. We are going to help you.
This story is sponsored by Morris Law, LLC.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, we have got our apron on today because we are at the Art Museum of Myrtle Beach. I'm joined by Colin. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing awesome. Let's go ahead and get into it. What are we doing today?
So today we have these stuffed paper sculptures of musical instruments. It's inspired by our exhibit, Lifting Black Voices. We have one of the galleries in the show has an entire gallery full of paintings and artwork that is inspired by jazz and music. So this is a pretty simple project, but still it gives you really cool results. So the first step for this is you're going to print out either some type of musical instrument, it could be whatever you'd like. We have some tubas here. And after you print them out, you're going to cut them out. And then you're going to get another sheet of paper and you're going to trace the outline of the instrument.
Okay.
So you just go around. And this, it doesn't have to be nice and neat. You can do it a little quick, you can do a little sketchy, which I like to do.
I'm very focused right now.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said it didn't have to be perfect.
Yeah, sketching it takes a lot of focus, more focus than you think.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, once you have that all sketched out, you'll end up cutting it out.
Okay.
But thankfully, we already have these two examples already cut out.
Yay!
So yeah,
I can skip that step. Yay!
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, once you cut them out, you will have, of course, two pieces of paper. And what you want to do is first staple half the papers together. So I did it kind of a little strategic spot so we can still kind of have some areas where we can end up stuffing the paper in there. So I did some like at the top, and I just did some of the sides too, leaving openings up here and also here at the bottom as well. But after you get it stapled together, you get to decorate it. And
Okay.
of course, this is completely up to the artist how you would want to decorate it, using whatever colors, whatever types of patterns. Completely up to you.
Let's do it. Well, thanks once again for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. I'm Katie Turner, and I'm wearing pink for a reason today. I'm joined in studio by Michelle Apple. How are you?
Fantastic, thank you.
Okay, so you are the founder of the ABC Warrior Foundation. What does that stand for?
The Apple Breast Cancer Warrior Foundation.
All right, so tell me your story.
So I'm actually, this week is kind of ironic, I'm a 5-year breast cancer survivor, so I made it to 5 years, which is a huge milestone for many breast cancer patients. So when I got my diagnosis, I always knew I wanted to do more. I didn't want to be defined by breast cancer, but I've seen so many financially having a hard time with the financial bills in addition to advocating and educating. So during my journey, I decided to start a foundation, a 501c, to help other breast cancer patients as they're going through this long journey, because it's emotional, it's financial. And so I decided to start the foundation under those things so that we could help them.
It's got to be surreal going from being the patient to being able to really pay it forward to people.
Absolutely, and I wanted to advocate because in the beginning my diagnosis was missed, so I had a very small lump under my armpit, and I think it's good for the viewers to know that I just got a standard mammogram, and unfortunately they missed it, and I should have had an ultrasound.
Wow.
And that's the other reason to advocate for the foundation, right? I want to educate and tell folks. Not that you have a crystal ball that it could stop it, but maybe we could have caught it earlier. We know with breast cancer, early detection and treatments are huge.
Huge.
So with that, after my mom got diagnosed with bile duct cancer, I then took care of myself. She passed away. We were taking care of her, and I got shingles, and it grew actually on my breast. And I thought, well, you know, I should get this checked out. So after she passed, I did, and that's when I found out I was stage 3. It has metastatized into 23 lymph nodes, full mastectomy, 6 months chemo, 3 months radiation, and then just recently I had my ovaries removed, and then continued medication. So many cancer patients don't get to ring the bell. So many of those I want to advocate and help and do the comfort bags that we're going to talk about at the next summit to kind of bring a smile to their face.
Now, for people that want to stay updated with you and help out throughout the year, I mean, you have so many things planned on the calendar. How can they stay in touch with you?
Absolutely. So we have a website. It's www.applebcwarrior.com, or they can certainly email me at michelleapple71@iCloud as well.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, welcome back to Living Local Carolina, everybody. Today I am joined by Matt, who is a producer amongst a ton of other titles. So how are you doing?
I am great. I'm great. It's good to be here.
How did you figure out that this was what you wanted to do?
Music was always what I wanted to do, even when I didn't know that I loved music. I actually grew up as from when I was in kindergarten. I wanted to be an artist, draw. I love illustrations. For all my anime heads out there, I loved illustrations. So from there until actually high school, my junior year in high school, I actually had an art class. And the art class my last semester of art that I took in high school was a class that they made up for me because they didn't have any more classes. I just took the highest art class I could take. And so the next level was college, but I wasn't old enough to be in college yet to take college courses. And so they were like, after that last class, it was like, look, I'm with my guidance counselor, and she's like, you don't have any more, we got to take something else for an elective. And so the question was literally, the option was choir or basket weaving. And so, right. So, so I was like, I'll take choir. And so from there, I just found out and realized that, man, I'd always been singing. I always loved music. That was always, I would go home. If I wasn't drawing, I was listening to music, listening to the radio, And so that really, really became an eye opener for me. And then from there, it just evolved and evolved and evolved into where I became a producer. I had a singing group, and it was a cappella group, and we were singing around, and we couldn't find studios that would actually be able to record us, because it was about 4 or 5 of us singing a cappella harmony, and they just didn't know how to. The engineers just didn't know how to record us, and so we started me and the group and the management team around us just started. Somebody had a mixing console. Somebody else had a microphone, and somebody else had this, somebody else that. And we're like, let's put it all together until we could find the studio. I remember a conversation I was having with the management company. I'm the mouth of the group. And so I'm like, I'm tired of paying for, now mind you, I wasn't paying for anything, but we're tired of, I was doing nothing but just singing and writing. And so I'm like, I'm tired of paying for studios and paying for recordings, and nobody knows what they're doing. Like we can do bad recordings on our own. You know what I mean? For free. That's easy. That's it. And literally when I said it, everybody was quiet for what seemed like an hour, but it's probably 5 seconds. And they're like, you know what? Well, let's just put some stuff together until we can find one that that'll work for you, Matt. And I was like, yeah, let's do that. And so from there, I just kind of fell into, telling people I want to hear this, I want to hear that. And then finally the guy who actually taught me how to engineer, he was like, you know what? I'm tired of you telling me what to do. You do it. And literally that was my training. And so I just fell into engineering just like that.
There you go. I love stories like that, though. Obviously you were a very creative person, had, so many different hands and thoughts, but that's so cool.
I've traveled over hills, swam the widest seas to find someone like you, to love me, nothing I can do. You're always on my mind. If there's only 3 words I can tell you, I tell you 1,000 times, 1,000 times that I dreamed of you.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.